Happy holidays from KCOY Channel 12.
Channel 3, the most watched station on the Central Coast.
News for the South Coast, KEYT Television.
This is Key News with Kim Inslee, weather with Philip Mann, and sports with Dan Elliott.
Good evening. These are some of the stories making news tonight. It's a big day for illegal immigrants who lined up today to start the process of amnesty. In Washington, hearings into the Iran-Contra affair got underway. There were big celebrations all over Southern California tonight as Cinco de Mayo is observed. And we're not celebrating over this play out at UCSB. We'll tell you why a little bit later. First in our news tonight.
KTIE TV 63.
It's KTIE and you.
This is the KTIE TV Gold Coast News with Steve Miller, Letitia Ponce, the weather professor, Dr. Steve Lyons, Randy Rosenblum with Gold Coast Sports, and Toby Scott's Money Matters.
You're watching KCOY TV News Watch 12, the Central Coast's most comprehensive report of today's local and regional news with Dave Hefferly, Susan Cluffley, Jim Barrick with the weather, and Tim O'Leary with sports.
Good evening. San Luis Obispo city officials were in federal court today to defend a new helmet law that could affect every motorcycle rider in the state. That is next on News Watch 12.
This is KCOY-TV, your news channel for the Central and South Coast. Tony Chappelle, David Boyd, Jim Barrick with weather, and Tim O'Leary sports. Now, News Channel 12, the 11 o'clock update.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Several Lompoc residents were...
Hard copy. Monday at 7:30 on KCOY TV 12. KCOY TV News Channel 12 Nightcast. With Michelle Kane, Lee Cowell, Dave Hefferman with weather, and Ralph Aviles on sports. Now, News Channel 12 Nightcast.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Sheriff officials are confirming information in a Santa Maria.
We're on.
Now, from the Tri-Counties news leader, Channel 3's Key News at 5, with King Harris and Jane Rinka.
Now, from Channel 3, where the news comes first, Key News at 5.
You're watching KCOY Channel 12. And now, 12 News at 6.
Now, Bob Burton, Debbie Davison, weather with Steve Stewart, and sports with Jerry Paul. Live, Channel 3's Key News at 6, where the news comes first.
It's been played on television over and...
The station that gives you primetime movies and much more.
Now, Key News at 10 on KEYT Television.
A high-profile Republican pays a visit to the Central Coast. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani is being...
Debbie Davison, meteorologist Steve Stewart, and Jerry Paul sports. You're watching a rebroadcast of Key News on KEYT.
Relations firm offering its services to District Attorney Tom Sneddon held a news conference.
Despite efforts by her husband to save her.
So when is a headache something to worry about? We'll tell you 6 a.m. Monday.
Live, you're watching Key News Weekend, where the news comes first.
American and Chinese leaders...
You're watching KCOY News 12, the heart of the Central Coast, with Megan Maloney, meteorologist Jim Byrne, and sports with Dave Alley. This is KCOY News 12 at 11.
We've been getting...
Live, Channel 3's Key News at 6, where the news comes first.
It's another trouble for the Hoosiers.
It goes down to the wire for the UCSB men's soccer team after a tie in regulation and double overtime. Both teams go to a penalty kickoff. Unfortunately, the Gauchos come up short in the end. Good evening. I'm Rosemary Gabrosco. Tracy Lair is off tonight. Here's the latest at.
This is KCOY CBS 12 News at 5.
It's 11. First at 10 starts right now.
First to bring you local news at 10 o'clock. This is Fox 11 News. First at 10.
Signed, sealed, but not yet delivered.
In high definition, this is Central Coast News right now.
You are getting your first look at the newest cancer center opening right here on the Central Coast.
The 44,000 square foot, 3-story building will be the first and only.
Central Coast News right now.
Boy Scouts on the Central Coast are moving forward now that there's been a break in the arsenal.
Live. Your news, your team. This is Channel 3's Key News.
Tonight, criminal or victim of circumstance. We're standing by live with a story that's becoming all too familiar. A student immigrant fighting to extend their stay in the U.S. Hi, good everybody. I'm Joe Gale.
And I'm Paula Lopez.
Now, Colleen Sullivan, Sean Quinn in the Sky Tracker Weather Center, and Mike DeFina Sports. This is Channel 3's Key News.
As millions of Americans enjoy their long holiday weekend, candidates for the upcoming elections are getting back on the campaign trail.
Live, Scott Hennessy, Paula Lopez, and meteorologist Jason Stiff. KCOY 12 Central Coast Local News. Live at 5. Live from the largest news team on the Central Coast with important local coverage. This is KCOY 12 Central Coast News at 6 o'clock.
Good evening and thanks for
The 10.
A dramatic end to an Amber Alert investigation out of Santa Maria. Shots fired in L.A. County. The suspect is dead.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. This is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first.
You see this panel truck coming into our field of vision.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. At 5, this is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first.
At this time, the Sheen is heading towards, in the general.
Live, Beth Farnsworth, CJ Ward, and Chief Meteorologist Alan Rose. This is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first. Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. At 6, this is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nia Wong. We start tonight with thousands of people in the dark.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. At 11, this is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first.
Good evening, everybody. I'm CJ Ward. Emergency crews had to cut a man from his mangled vehicle at Cliff Drive in Los
Angeles. Of News Channel 3 and KCOY 12. Your local news starts right now.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us tonight live.
From your local news channel. Live at 6:30 starts right now.
Customers and employees must now wear face masks in essential businesses in Santa Barbara.
Your local news channel. The weekend news starts right now.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Tracy Lair. We begin with the latest.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. Your news channel starts right now.
Welcome into our TV Hill studios here in Santa Barbara. I'm Joey Virgils.
And I'm Krista Kirkjian. Thanks for waking up with us. Russian authorities have now detained about...
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. Your news channel starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. It is Friday.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys, your news channel starts right now.
Morning, I'm CJ Ward.
And I'm Joey Virgillis. We appreciate you tuning in to Midday.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys, your news channel starts right now.
Good evening, everybody. I'm CJ Ward. Beth is off tonight. We begin at 6 with the EP.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys, your news channel starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Scott Hennessy. There is growing international outrage.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys, your news channel starts right now.
He asked yesterday, can $1,000?
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys, your news channel starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Scott Hennessy. Thank you for joining us. Emergency response.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys, your news channel starts right now.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Tracy Lair. A car went over a cliff.
Your favorite shows on the most watched station, Channel 3.